Ag PhD full episodes and more are now available on Acres TV, the newest ag platform connecting you to fields of information. Look for us on watchacrestv.com.
During our Farm Basics time today, we're going to talk about why farmers order their seed so early compared to what they used to. There are a lot of farmers already ordering next year's seed today.
Well, there are certainly things in your life that you think about that, hey, if I want this, I've got to speak for it soon. And in some cases for farmers, that's the same thing. So like with seed corn, for example, there are new numbers that come out every year. And you know what? The new numbers always run out. Well, Brian and I are two of those farmers that want to plant some of that new seed that, hey, it's new, it's a little bit better. It might yield just a little bit more, have some key defensive trait that we're really seeking for our farm. We want to put the word in early that, hey, we want some of that. Let's lock it up to make sure we get the new thing.
But here's the biggest difference between today and what we used to deal with when we were kids, or our dad dealt with when we were kids, say 30, 40 years ago. A lot of the varieties back then, they would stay in the market for 6 to 10 years. It was a long time, and there were very few varieties that people considered really good. So companies were able to build great big piles of these few numbers that were really good. Well, it didn't really matter if you ordered in the fall or in the winter. So most people just ordered in the winter, if not even the spring. Well, today there are a lot of different seed companies. In terms of each variety, there's a small stack for each variety because there are so many varieties. We have all these different traits out there and everything else. So what happens is, if let's say a seed company used to have a few piles of 1 million bags of 3 different piles, but now instead they've got 1,000 different varieties. By the time you figure traits and seed sizes and all these things, that pile is going to sell out really fast if it's a small pile.
All right, so you can see we're excited about getting the right seed, but we're also excited about saving money. And oftentimes seed companies have their best discounts for the earliest orders put in. So in order for farmers to buy the same seed at the lowest price, they've got to speak for it early and pay for it early. So you'll see many farmers, if they've got some money in the bank or a good relationship with the banker, they'll lock up that seed and pay for it as early as they can.
And part of the reason this is a big deal is now seed corn is going to cost $300, $400 a bag, whereas when we were kids it might have been $50 a bag. So it was no big deal if you saved 2% or even 5%. Well, today that can be a really big thing. It adds up to a lot of dollars.
Well, there are a lot of reasons why farmers are going to buy seed early and make their plans very early. We've got some volatile markets, of course, this year as well, and that may be something that helps farmers. Hey, if I lock in my costs, I can start locking in some of these markets too. So for farmers to feel comfortable selling their crop at a certain price or pre-selling some of that crop, they need to lock up these expenses early this year.
Yep, so that can be important for profitability, but so can weed control. If you don't have great weed control, it's really tough to make it on the farm. So we'll talk about controlling this week's weed coming up later in the show.